The price of gold and silver are impacted by the major, serious, downright scary geopolitical events, the geopolitical turmoil that's going on right now in the world. Guys, there is a ton happening in this East versus West conflict, primarily regarding Russia. We had 3 major developments in just the last 24 to 48 hours. We need to talk about these. We need to be on top of them because we may not like them. We aren't responsible, right, for what's going on. However, it is happening. It is the reality we are facing in the world right now, and the situation continues to escalate, continues to develop quickly, and will, in the long run, continue to impact the price of silver, gold, the precious metal mining stocks. Let's get started talking about it right now. Let's talk about these 3 recent big developments. And then at the end of the video, I want to review for you another important factor, another important force coming out of Russia that could definitely catapult the price of gold and silver higher. But first, the big news today: Russian President Vladimir Putin officially recognized that the 4 regions of Ukraine, which they have been occupying since this war, this special operation has occurred, he's officially annexed them as part of Russia. The names, and please excuse my Russian, I guess, as I say this: the Luhansk region, Donetsk region, the Kherson region, and the Zaporizhzhia region. Basically, he said they are now part of Russia and they will be defended as if they are a part of Russia. Obviously, this did not make Mr. Zelensky, the head of the Ukraine, happy, did not make the other major Western leaders very happy. What Putin said was, if you want to negotiate now, we'll negotiate, but we are not even going to talk about or consider anything about giving any of that land back to the Ukrainian people. It's important to note this is a big amount of land, roughly the size of the country of Portugal. Also involving Vladimir Putin, he undeniably blamed the United States of America for the unexplained pipeline explosions on Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. He went as far to say it's obvious to everyone who did it. Mr. Putin did say this. He said, "We call on the Kiev regime to immediately stop hostilities and sit at the negotiating table." Look, there's a ton of Western weapons already in the pipeline. Pardon the irony for that statement, but it doesn't look like Zelensky and the Ukrainians have any interest in sitting down, and Putin has made it very clear that he's not going to negotiate when it comes to these 4 territories that in their mind are now part of Russia. Things are escalating, guys. Geopolitical turmoil is not what we want to see, but it's the reality, and it is very supportive for the price of the precious metals. Now let's move on to the second major story. And when it comes to the dwindling energy supplies and cold winter being faced by the Europeans, Putin basically said it's a problem of their own making. Now, not the people who are going to be suffering, the normal people like you and I, but that the leaders brought this problem upon themselves. Now, he went on to say something very, very interesting, which relates directly to us who like to invest in real money assets, things like gold and silver. He went on to say this. He said, "They've printed money, but you cannot warm your homes with this printed money." Basically saying, hey, you guys can print, play all the financial games that you want, but at the end of the day, what you need are real assets, things like oil, natural gas, minerals, all that stuff. And while you can print plenty of electronic and paper money, you can't print those real assets. And Mr. Putin was on quite a roll. He then went on to kind of slam the liberal movements that are going on in the West. He said this: "Do we really want to have parent number 1 and parent number 2 instead of mom and dad in Russia? Do we want children to be told that there are genders besides men and women? Is this the future we want for our children? For us, this is unacceptable. He's kind of speaking in a very uber conservative fashion. I'll let you make your own judgments on that. Finally, on the subject of nuclear weapons, he went on to point out that the United States of America is the only country in the history of the world to have actually used nuclear weapons. He said that sets a precedent. When things get crazy out there, come on down to Ron's Basement. You, from wherever you are in the world, are always welcome here. We'll get through this together. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe right here. You could give the video a thumbs up. That would be very helpful. Don't forget, leave a comment. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. You are important, and so are your thoughts. We want to get to know you. Now let's get back to the video. And the third major story in response to these moves by Russia, Ukraine has decided to formally apply to join NATO. Now, you know that only escalates the situation further, but an important thing to remember regarding this, apparently, if you want to join NATO, you have to have unanimous consensus among the 30 current members. People don't think that Turkey, for instance, or Hungary are going to be real keen on letting the Ukraine into NATO, but nonetheless, this only serves to further the divide that we have growing between Russia and the Western and NATO countries. While those three stories definitely provide a support structure for the price of precious metals, let's not forget there's something else very important on the back burner. In addition to what's going on, we know that Russia and Putin are developing a new central market for the price of the precious metals, gold, silver, the other precious metals. They want to determine a new spot price and have a new central trading hub for the metals. And don't forget, these countries that are now becoming more Eastern, more aligned, the BRICS countries with Russia, they produce a majority of the precious metals. So while we may not like what's going on in the world, we didn't cause it. You and I had really, most likely, absolutely nothing to do with it. When we analyze the situation, when we take a step back and look at the big picture, the forest through the trees, things still look very, very positive for the price of silver, for the price of gold. One thing for sure, we're going to find out, and I'll be here for you through it all. Hey, if you enjoy my content, you can consider watching another video right here. Until next time, you be well.